Hello there, fellow spacefarers. Pegasus here, sharing another ship build for my wanted captain, Selene. This is the Almandine, a fortified exploration vessel. It was inspired by Hjalmere's Falkland Swift, which is linked below. Along with building another safe house and collecting resources, Selene has been doing some constellation mission board jobs and list surveys on the side. This ship has been getting her to those far-flung locations and keeping her safe from the bounty hunters along the way. It's painted to match the scenery at one of her hideouts, and this time Selene wanted somewhere totally different from the frozen lakes. Well, I mean, not totally different. I found some more nice lakes to build next to, but yeah, the scenery here is very different. More on that later. The Almandine is a Class B ship, so it's got a nice balance of power and speed. Could be a bit faster if it had less cargo capacity, and can hold a crew of 9, but right now she's still just flying with the Constellation folks. It has an almost fully customized interior, and I started out trying to do all Taiyo Habs on this one, but I did end up using a couple of Strouds too, and the Rev 8 is painted to match it. So this entry hab is one of the Strouds. It's an empty engineering bay. I made this one a multi-purpose hallway, basically. It supports our exploration efforts. I've got the washrooms and laundry right at the door. First thing you want to do when you get back from exploring, right? Take off your suit and get cleaned up. Everyone has their own locker, and the storage habs in this ship came with some random items in the shelving, and I was able to pull some of them out and use them as props around here. Just beyond that is our small med bay with a pharmaceutical workbench. Never know when someone's going to get injured, and exploration means collecting samples and specimens, so we've got a small research station here.
I like that very much. You haven't asked me to do that in a long time.
And then there's also an armory. All of the sections in this hab are divided using the walls and doors mod. I split the wings into living and working quarters. We'll go look at the living quarters first.
You've got my undivided attention.
This stacked companionway is connected to both the crew and captain's quarters. This is my other Stroud hab. I took an empty 3x all-in-one for the starboard wing and put the crew's accommodations in here. It came with a bathroom, a couple of sleeping berths, and a galley, and I used Furnish Your Fleet to build an extra washroom, and then put in the small lounge and the dining set. And a quick gameplay update. Selene's collected a couple more wanted slates from the bounty hunters, a couple more powers from the temples, and she completed Sam's companion quest. She's romancing him again in this universe. You might have noticed Barrett's spiffy suit. I picked that up for him during Sam's quest. And it might be kind of sappy of me, but I think that Selene kind of has a Titanic thing for Sam. You know, like, my heart will go on, near, far, wherever you are. This universe, every universe. But I'm taking my time and really digging into my roleplay, so it'll be a while before she says goodbye to Sam and Cora and the rest of them. Next is the captain's quarters, and I used the empty Taiyo, which only had a sleeping berth in it. The Nova Galley is from Furnish Your Fleet, and I felt like it fit really well in this space, and it still left me some shelving and floor space to put a little dinette in here. I was able to tuck that bookshelf into the back wall of the sleeping berth, and then I made a cozy little sitting area here. And then why not? Because it's the captain's quarters, I also put in a full-size bathroom. You would not believe how often the rest of the crew are in here, though. Can't say I blame them. Alright, on to the port wing. At first I had a computer core to get the extra crew slot, but then realized that I wanted a workshop in the ship because it just makes more sense for an exploration vessel, and I like being able to craft and work on equipment while exploring. But I didn't really care for the Taiyo pre-decorated version, and it doesn't have any crew slots, so I made a custom workshop in the empty computer core to get the best of both, a crew slot and a custom layout. So here we are. The front section is a break area with refreshments. I put the mini vending machines in for the crew since they're always talking about those chunks. And then around to the side here, the industrial workbench is in the middle section, and in the back, the spacesuit and weapon workbenches and all the shelves. I'm really satisfied with how this turned out. Okay, and then next is the control station. The back section was pretty empty, so it's another sitting area now. At each of the workstations, I put in shelves and some clutter to kind of personalize them a bit. This front station was the only one I could get a wall shelf to snap onto. And then the Samurai cockpit. I slid some rugs in and put another place for my captain to chill, maybe while it's on autopilot. And there's the last Wilby. Did you spot all 4 of them during the tour? I think Cora was playing and hid them around the ship. Coming up, Selene is working on building at the outpost where we landed, which you got a sneak peek at the landscape earlier. The dark red features here inspired the ship's name. Almandine is a type of garnet. She also finished building another ship, so that will need decorating too. This is the end of our tour. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of the Almandine. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop me a line. My mods and Habs are listed in the description, along with a link to the ship that inspired this build. Thanks for watching. Catch a smile out there.